Libra, 2022 is all about money. It's all about securing the bag, and it's a focus on your resources, both your personal and the ones that you share with others. This year is going to teach you a lot about money, whether it's saving, whether it's investing, or whether it's allowing people to help you. Needless to say, money is definitely on your mind this year. Want to know more? Keep watching and I'll explain all about it.
Christmas Day.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mel of Divine Feminine Works, and as always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. And speaking of content, head over to Instagram and follow me over there at Divine Feminine Works. Every day, I've got a whole bunch of content on tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. All right, so head over there and follow me. All right, so I am so excited to be bringing you this video because this is the video of the year. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, this is the one you definitely want to watch. Actually, this series, because I'm going to be breaking it down by sign, okay? But this is the 2022 astrology forecast. One of my favorite phrases is when you know better, you do better. And if you know what's coming ahead in the coming year, rest assured you're going to be prepared and you're going to know exactly what to do. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, Libra. So for you, 2022 is all about money. Money and resources. Much like your sister sign Aries, you guys have a strong emphasis on your second house of money and material possessions and your eighth house of shared resources, intimacy, and transformation. All right, so definitely this year, you're going to want to pay close attention to your personal assets and money on the one hand, and your shared resources and assets on the other. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, shared resources, like I don't share my resources with anybody. So if you're single, you're not married, it's not just like your spouse's money. The eighth house also covers loans, mortgages, insurance policies, basically anyone else's money that you may be using. So that includes debt. That includes, like I said, insurance policies, taxes, mortgages, all of that stuff. All right. So that's definitely the focus for you guys this year. But let's take the year chronologically and see what's in store for you. So at the top of the year, we open things up with Venus retrograde in Capricorn along with Pluto. So this is really about reevaluating relationships, even reevaluating money, because Venus also covers money as well. But for you, this is going down in your fourth house. So this has to do with your actual home, where you live, and your family. So some of you may be taking this time, and Venus is going to be retrograde between January and February. You're going to be taking this time to reevaluate your family relationships, your home, maybe the money with respect to your home. Maybe some of you may be thinking about refinancing your home, taking out a second mortgage. Some of you may be thinking about repairing family relationships or even getting to know your family better, like doing some ancestry research, 23andMe or Ancestry.com. Some of you may be really interested in that while Venus is retrograde in your fourth house. With the presence of Pluto there is a very strong undercurrent of transformation and of control. So for some of you, you may be reevaluating the control that your family has on you or that you have on your family. For instance, maybe you have a lot of familial obligations that you feel sort of inundated with, or maybe your family really dictates your personal relationships or even your life. And I feel like at this point, when Venus is retrograde, you're going to be reevaluating and sort of rethinking all of those things. Okay. Moving on, in April, we have the first eclipse of the year, which is the partial solar eclipse in your eighth house, which is Taurus. All right. So this is the first time in the year that your emphasis on money is really going to be highlighted. Solar eclipses are all about new beginnings because they happen at the new moon phase. And if we're talking about the 8th house, this is the time where you're going to want to think about maybe starting an investment. Maybe someone wants to invest in you. Someone wants to pour their money into you or your business. Maybe you want to get into a business partnership. Maybe you want to take out a loan. You want to, probably put a will together, or maybe you want to get your insurance in order. All of those things are really up for grabs when there is the partial solar eclipse in the 8th house. This house also covers intimacy. So maybe now, if you're in a relationship, maybe time to take things to the next level. It may be time to consummate your relationship, so to speak. And that's all going to happen in April at the partial solar eclipse in Taurus. Moving on in May, we have Jupiter moving into Aries, okay? Jupiter is the greater benefic. If there's any planet that's purely positive, it's Jupiter. And it brings positivity, blessings, abundance in a very big way. And for you, Libra, this is going to happen in your 7th house of relationships. Now, Aries is a sign of bold, dynamic action, of taking new action, of like doing new things, right? And if we're talking about your relationships, this may be the time where you want to get into a committed relationship, perhaps get married, take things to the next level with your partner. Even if it's just business, maybe now you want to solidify a business relationship, sign some contracts, whatever it is related to relationships, you're going to want to do it between May and October when Jupiter is in Aries, because Jupiter is going to give you the green light to do so and the blessings to do so. So keep that in mind. Also in May, we have a total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is going down in your 2nd house. So the 2nd house covers money and material possessions, but your money and material possessions. And lunar eclipses illuminate. It's at the full moon lunar phase. So things with your personal finances and money are definitely going to come to light at that time, particularly things that may not be working or money issues that you have on a personal level. The full moon, especially being an eclipse, is going to highlight this in a huge way. In a way so that it brings it to your attention, so it can eclipse it out of your life so you can start making better decisions with money. Money can come in so that you can have a better relationship with money. So it may be a little jarring in May, like you may experience perhaps a money setback. Maybe you have an income stream that dries up or just changes in a way that's not really conducive to how you would like it to be. The best thing to do is sort of let the dust settle, take the lessons that come up and move forward in a different direction, okay? The next major time in 2022 is going to be between October and November. So between October and November, we're all going to experience Saturn square Uranus. And if you watched my 2022 predictions video, you'll know that that is the aspect of the year. As a matter of fact, we had a lot of that energy with that aspect in 2021, and that's going to carry over into 2022. And in October and November, that's when we're going to be feeling it the most. So this aspect is really about boundaries and structure on the one hand and freedom on the other. And those two themes are going to be in conflict. There's going to be some tension with respect to that. So for you, Libra, this is going down in your 5th house and your 8th house. 5th house covers fun, entertainment. It covers creativity. Now, if we're talking about structure, you may have a particular... There's something about you where you like to have fun, like having fun and romance and sort of taking it easy is really a part of your life. Like you're committed to having fun, right? But this may be in conflict with your money, especially money that you share with someone else, right? So how else could I put this? This could be like your 5th house also covers gambling, right? So let's say gambling is a real part of your life. It's something that you do on a regular basis. This may be in conflict with your resources, especially the resources that you share. If you're constantly using money to gamble or to have enjoyment, entertainment, if you're constantly spending money on these things, or even creative endeavors, or even children, this may be depleting the collective pot of money that you share with your spouse, with your business partners. It may even affect your mortgage, taxes. You may not have money in order to pay those things, right? And so that's how this is sort of going to play out. So between October and November, you guys are going to be really like focused, almost laser focused on this issue. And you're going to want to pay attention to what comes up because you're going to have to reconcile this sort of conflict. Okay. And again, it's sort of my enjoyment versus my responsibilities to others when it comes to money. All right. So also in October, we have Jupiter retrograding back into Pisces, which is going to be your 6th house. And at that time, health is sort of going to be a thing for you, health and healing. Jupiter in Pisces is a very sort of healing energy. So if you've been experiencing any health issues, I feel like in October, those may come to a head in order to be healed, hopefully for good. Okay. In October, we also have a partial solar eclipse in your 2nd house, which is Scorpio. So now we talked about this lunar eclipse in Scorpio and how this was back in May. And so at that time, things were coming to a head with shared resources. Hopefully at that time, whatever was standing in the way of having a healthy relationship with money between you and your partner or whoever you share money with, that's hopefully was eradicated at that time. And now at the partial solar eclipse in October, now you can start anew. Now you can have a healthy relationship with money. Now you can get loans, take care of debt. Maybe your partner is bringing more money into the mix right now. So now you have more money at your disposal. All of those things are sort of up for grabs at the solar eclipse in Scorpio in October. And finally, in October, we also have Mars retrograde in Gemini, and this is going to be affecting your 9th house. Mars is a planet of action. It loves to take action in a very bold and dynamic way, also very impulsive. But when Mars is retrograde, Mars is inactive. It's not motivated. It's not driven. And so with this being in your 9th house and 9th house really ruling your spirituality, your spiritual path, things that are different from you, expanding your mind, I feel like you guys aren't going to want to feel like expanding your mind, learning new things, dealing with people that are different from you. You're not going to feel like traveling. You're sort of going to want to spend the time being quiet and sort of staying to yourself. All right. And so that is in October, and Mars will remain retrograde in Gemini until January of 2023. So you're going to end the year sort of on a quiet note and sort of not feeling motivated or driven to do much. Okay. And then finally, the last thing we have for 2022 is the total lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus, which is your 8th house. Okay. So the lunar eclipse illuminates, right? And I misspoke. Because in October, you guys have a partial solar eclipse in Scorpio, which is your 2nd house. So let's go back to that for a second. You had a partial solar eclipse. Oh my gosh, I'm so tongue-tied with this. All right, so back in May, you had a lunar eclipse in your 2nd house. And that was when I said that you guys were going to experience upsets with your personal assets and personal money, right? At that time, your personal assets were illuminated, showing you what wasn't working so that it could be eclipsed out of your life, right? Now, in October, you have a solar eclipse in your 2nd house. So in October, now you're going to be able to get your personal money up. You're going to be able to get different streams of income, more money coming in, be able to save, all of that good stuff you're going to be able to do in October. Now, moving on to November, the final eclipse of the year is the lunar eclipse, and that's going to go down in Taurus, which is your 8th house. So we're come full circle because back in April, there was a solar eclipse in your 8th house. And at that time, that's when you decided maybe people wanted to invest in you. Maybe you had debt that you were taking care of. Things were sort of beginning. It was a beginning sort of energy when it comes to your shared resources. Now in November, at the end of the year, now you've had a whole year to see how these new seeds you planted are growing. And now at the lunar eclipse in Taurus in your 8th house, you're going to see what's working and what's not. Or alternatively, the seeds you planted back in April may come to fruition at that time, okay? So you're going to end the year on a fairly sort of strong note when it comes to your shared resources, provided that you did the work and learned the lessons that the eclipses were teaching you. All right, so To recap, this year is all about money and resources. Yours, your partner's, and how to make the best of those, how to work with those in a way that makes sense. Whereas you're not completely dependent on your own resources, or you're not completely dependent on other people's resources. You have a healthy mix and you can really secure the bag and move into the future in a prosperous sort of way. All right, my loves, that has been the astro forecast for 2022. I sincerely hope that you were able to glean some information that may be helpful to you in the coming year. As always, it is my pleasure and a privilege to be bringing this information to you. I wish you nothing but the best. I mean, the absolute best for 2022. This is going to be a year to remember, and I sincerely hope that it brings you everything that your heart truly desires. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next year. Take care.